Welcome to another interview with the Vocero Hispano. The City of Grand Rapids recently obtained a new director for the Economic Development Department, and that's somebody that came out of state, but he is here now, and he mentioned that he is officially a Michigander now, and he is working to help and provide assistance for small or any business owners here in the City of Grand Rapids. To speak about that, I have here Jeremiah Gracia, and he is the Director of Economic Development in the City of Grand Rapids.
Hello, thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us. We were speaking a little bit before the interview that there's a lot of resources that the city provides, but there's one that you mentioned to me which gives it's an incentive program.
Sure.
So what does before we get into those details, what does the economic development focus on?
Yeah, so the Office of Economic Development for the City of Grand Rapids is focused on all business retention, expansion, and attraction for businesses in the city and those looking to become a part of the city. And so on a day-to-day basis, we're helping existing businesses grow, making sure they're successful, providing them resources both directly from our office and from many partners that we have in the community to help them grow their business. When we do that really, really well, it also becomes an attractive place for other businesses and they want to be here. And so then we can work on business attraction efforts that, that's typically what you hear in the news, but a lot of, 80% of our work is really focusing on working with our existing businesses.
Okay. And you mentioned that you guys are helping businesses grow. We are a growing city. Have you seen that happen because I know the pandemic happened and that kind of impacted a lot of different things. Have you seen a growth?
We have. In fact, from our office, we do a lot of real estate projects, but also just generally over the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 months, right? Now that things have opened up and back to normal, we've seen great momentum within the city, also within our region, right, and everything in Western Michigan. But we also see that many companies are still being very aggressive in evaluating projects and getting new customers. And as you can see, as you drive around the city, you can see construction throughout. You can see cranes. You can see I think there's 3 cranes up right now in the city of Grand Rapids. So that's also a good indicator of the momentum we have. Okay.
That's interesting, and there is a lot of construction.
Sure.
I think a lot of people are getting a little annoyed with it, but it's showing a positive side to the city. That means that we're growing and just,
that's right.
Being more new, I guess.
Yes, right.
What about the businesses, the Hispanic-owned businesses? Have you seen a growth within them?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely, in my time here, and I've been here a little over 2 years, I've been working really hard to build relationships with them, as well as all businesses, but obviously with one of the largest populations being our Latino community and Hispanic businesses, we also understand the challenges they have and been working with partners to help bring them resources and making sure that they are in a good position to grow their business and are just even aware of the resources available to them, which is another reason they should contact our office when they have a question and saying, hey, this is where my business is today, where could my business go, and who do I need to talk to help grow it? Yeah,
for sure. And you were mentioning something about an incentive program. Can you speak a little bit about what that program does?
Yeah, so today's, what we're referring to is called the Environmental Site Assessment Program. And this program is specifically focused on helping a business owner purchase their business. So we're trying to get to generate generational wealth for them, to them from going from leasing a business location to owning. Okay. And not only owning for themselves, but if it makes sense, also buying a larger building perhaps and helping another business owner, co-locate in the in the building with them and help offset those costs. So this particular program will help them on their first phase. So what we recommend to any company that's looking to buy a piece of commercial real estate, that they complete an environmental site assessment. If you're going to go do a bank loan, the bank is likely going to require you to do it. But if you do have the cash, and some folks are in that position, we still encourage you to do that. And what that is just to make sure you're not buying problems. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your investment and making sure what you're buying doesn't have any major environmental issues that you should be aware of. And even if you do find something that you could that would be of concern, then that would help you identify that, and then we could help get you to the next phase, to how you would address those particular issues that you might find in this initial assessment.
Okay, so not only is there that incentive, that program that's giving assistance and everything, but you guys are also helping them afterwards. So
Correct.
It's not just if
Right.
you have a problem, then that's your problem.
That's
you guys
right.
are there.
Right. So
to
we'll say,
tackle.
hey, now you identified the issues you need to address. Now we'll talk about the next program that could help you address, to correct those issues if it's necessary.
Okay.
And again, we're also very intentional with that program in that driving that investment. So if you are in a community, we call them neighborhoods of focus, which traditionally have been, the Hispanic communities. We've said, hey, to buy a building and encourage investment in those communities, we will cover 100% of those costs related to that. And you could still do that anywhere in the city, but those would be, if not located in neighborhood of focus, would only be eligible for 50% reimbursement. So again, we're very intentional to making sure that we're driving investment in those areas that have traditionally not received that as investment as other parts of the city.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great opportunity for those that are looking to kind of expand and grow.
Sure.
That's a perfect way of getting there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
So what are the requisites that maybe you guys are asking for are required for somebody to be able to qualify for this?
So for this particular program, all they need to have a purchase agreement or have purchased the build or purchased the particular building within the last say 60 to 90 days. And as long as you have an option or a purchase contract, this is a great program for you to utilize as you're looking to buy a piece of commercial real estate.
Okay. And how long does the approval take?
We can get it done as quickly as 45 days.
Okay.
I mean, it's not we intentionally try to make it very simple because we know you have a tight turnaround time, and the way we set up the process is it's one online application or paper, and we do have it in English and in Spanish.
Okay.
So all of our documents, including the information for this particular program, is also the information is all available in English and Spanish.
Okay, that's great. That was my next question. If there's
Yes.
assistance, bilingual assistance, so that's good. And the other question was, you also mentioned about there's like a specific way to find women-owned businesses and all of that. There's
Right.
also assistance for them as well.
Yep. So through our Office of Equity and Engagement, we have a micro local business enterprise program, and we're helping to identify and basically get certified micro local business enterprises. And so there's a resource there that we utilize to help you get that certification. That'll help you, be qualified for other particular programs and or bidding processes that either city services you're doing or city construction contracts, as well as private development projects that we are also facilitating at the city and asking them to seek out minority-owned contractors for the work.
Okay, that's great too. Because I'm thinking like there's a lot of owners that are unrecognized,
Sure.
or they're trying to find help and they don't know that there's assistance. So that's a good.
It is a good way, right? And so even if that particular program is not for them, that phone call can help identify whatever issue that they see as our barrier, and then we can make a referral onto the right person or organization or other resource that could help them, get what they need.
Okay, so at the end of the day, they still get that assistance.
They
that
sure,
they,
yeah. So we're still going to help them and say, hey, based on what you're saying, you need a business plan, or maybe you can go talk to this organization. Hey, you might need to get some accounting and other items, kind of in order. Here's another program, and here's an organization you should talk to, and that's kind of how we've been. That's how we're a referral partner.
Okay, and that's great. And you said there was a big growth too, so
There was,
that just shows that you guys are doing a great
Yeah,
job.
and so we've been working really hard with our office, and they've done a great job of continuing to grow that program, and we want to make sure that it does that. So we're trying to grow 25% year over year.
Okay, is there a specific industry that is growing more, whether that be like restaurant or construction, any of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's citywide. So manufacturing is still growing pretty rapidly, right? Workforce is still a challenge. We're also seeing a lot, certainly in the service industry, that's growing pretty well based on the population growth and the success of the city. And I would also say we're also very focused on a lot of growth in the high-tech space in Grand Rapids.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure if you have anything else you'd like to add, or maybe something that I missed and you want the community to know about.
I think what's most important is they got to understand that they can just reach out to us, right? They should not be intimidated or afraid, and if they do, they can reach out ask for me directly, and I can talk with them a little about what their needs are, and also, you know, even contacting you all and saying, hey, like, could you be a help for me to speak to Mr. Gracia about what I could and how my business could be helped, and you have you know, businesses that you work with yourself, and we're open to them, and not, we don't want them to feel like they can't call us. And we're also very, we also encourage to go meet them in their businesses, rather than having them to come, you know, sometimes it can be intimidating to come to downtown City Hall. And so we say, hey, that's not a problem, where would you like to meet? And so we'd have staff, and myself even, that will go out and meet with them directly at their business, or local place, or their local restaurant, or wherever they feel is comfortable for them.
Okay. That's interesting, and that's good to know. That way there's no barriers. No. There's no way of saying, like, they didn't help me. They for sure will help.
That's right. And my standard practice when folks request meetings from me is I ask, where would you like to meet? I don't tell them, and that's because everybody feels comfortable in their own space, and it also helps me explore the city. And so see new places, see new local restaurants, new local coffee shops, and new places that, you know, the locals would want to highlight, including their own. Sometimes you say, I'd like you to show up my own business, and that's great too.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the help that you're doing and providing. Like I mentioned, you came from a different state, but
we did.
You're a Michigander now. So.
I am a Michigander now. I am, yeah. But thank you very much for this opportunity. You know, again, you have all our contact information on the screen, and you can also have them ask for me directly when they call.
Okay. So like you mentioned, there is a lot of assistance in the city of Grand Rapids. There is no way of you guys not, you know, getting any recommendations or any more connections. So for more information about these programs and more, you can visit growgr.org, or you can call 616-456-3431. And we can also provide those links on the description here. For more information or for more videos or interviews in English and Spanish, you can visit our YouTube page, El Vocero Hispano TV, our website, elvocerous.com, and our Facebook page, El Vocero Hispano. Thank you.